All right, hello, everybody. I think, okay. So I can be heard. You guys can be heard too. Uh,
Yay!
guys, just a quick thing. You don't have to say my whole name. Just saying Richie. I'm the only Richie here. You don't have to say my whole name. I appreciate that you know it, but it's okay to just say Richie. It's cool. That way you don't have to type so much. Save yourself a whole word.
Save yourself some time there.
Save yourself some time. Save yourself a whole word. Also, it's just really weird to have people say like my full name because the only person that says my full name is my mother, and it's when I'm in trouble. So this makes no sense. Also, Roberts isn't even my full name or my actual last name. That's my voiceover name. So calling me Richie is better. That's not my actual proper last name. God damn, that was bright, dude.
Yeah. I hate the lighting in this room. I forgot to turn on this.
The beacons are lit, man. Gondor calls for
Gondor
aid.
calls for aid.
Yep. Man. All right.
But it makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Jeez.
well, sort of. I mean, you definitely look like you are a one of those glow in the dark things, but during the day when they're gathering all the light to them, and then you turn off the light and it glows in the dark. That kind of shit. You're that pale right now.
I mean,
A little
I
pale
know
ale.
I kind of blend in with the door a bit. But...
Not, no. You're pale, but you're not devoid of color.
Not yet.
No, well.
That's my next evolution.
No.
Gotta get to level 64.
You can't do that. They've already made a movie about that.
Damn.
Yeah, it's called Powder, I believe. Dude was completely pale, albino as fuck, had no hair on him whatsoever. No eyebrows, no facial hair, no hair anywhere else on the body. Completely devoid of hair.
Weird.
Yeah, it was. Anyhow, I'll continue to add titles and roles to me. Why? I have enough, man. Oh my gosh, it's a pale lunatic. No. All right. Guys, welcome to Anime Church, the only church where cosplay is not only encouraged, but it is highly recommended. I am Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology.
I am Moonlight Sparks, your Minister of Arceology. Praise Arceus.
And I am Fenris Irun, your Sanctus Nacos.
By the way, guys, if you didn't check it out, Fenris had his second show for the Gundam series yesterday, so you should go over and check that out over on our Twitch channel. Just
Yes,
shameless.
this time Royce was building a model.
Yeah, there we go. Shameless plug there. Oh, that also reminds me, my brother saw it and he was like, God damn, I want to join this. And I was like, oh, let me send pictures to Royce and Fenris to be like, cause he talks Gundam. Oh, he knows Gundam. But also, if you're like, does he build models? It's like, Moon, you saw the fucking giant dresser covered in nothing but Gundam figures.
Yes.
Yeah. My brother has probably over 30 Gundam figures just downstairs, and he's got a backlog of stuff in the garage. Like, literally, I had to help him build a gaming chair that's literally not to take up and do any gaming. That's the chair he's going to sit in the garage so he can make Gundams. Like, work
Sounds
on
like your
Gundam.
brother and I would get along quite well.
Yeah. So he was like, this is neat. Can I join? And I'm like, I can't remember if he's voiced for us or not. So, but that's up to you guys as to whether you want a third person just talking, you know?
I mean, I can bring the idea up with Royce and get back to you on that.
I know he does have Saturdays off, but yeah. I don't know what name he wants to go by or if he actually wants to go by his actual name. But, yeah. So there we go. Sorry I did this all on air. It's just that's what I remembered it.
It's okay, man. It's
Yeah.
okay.
So we've done the proper introductions and all that other hoo-ha and skibbity beep bop. Let's get into
toilet.
let's get into talking about the news. And before you guys say anything, yes, I'm currently aware of the state of Bungie and Destiny at the moment. there was no way that my YouTube recommended would let me avoid it. So I am well aware that there have been layoffs and possible delays and a whole bunch of other stuff. But it's a constantly developing story, and I want to wait until everything has been talked about before I cover it. So probably next week. Also, we've got a pretty full docket of just anime, no gaming stuff. This is all just anime related. So, and it's a full ass docket. There's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So.
Oh, there's one gaming item from what I remember.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So everybody just strap in, buckle up. We're here for the long haul. I hope you enjoyed that we're finally on a time standard that fits with the rest of the effing world. No more this
and the
daylight.
fact Congress is trying to get rid of daylight savings time.
Are they trying to get rid of daylight savings time?
Yes, there's a bill in the House right now where they're trying to get rid of it.
Last I heard, they were trying to just make daylight savings time permanent throughout the year.
Permanent, get rid of it, same thing in my book.
No, it's not.
Very
do
different.
not need to be on daylight savings time because there are several states that don't even acknowledge daylight savings time. And it's like, actually, standard time is literally the universal time system that the rest of the world predominantly uses. There's like a handful of countries that still use daylight savings time. And it's just stupid because they're like, oh, wasn't it made for the farmers? No! The Germans designed the system of daylight savings time during World War I. But that's a whole different thing. You guys should look into it. Educate yourselves. We're back on standard time, which means we got an hour extra of sleep if you weren't up around that time. Some of us were. Hi. Yeah.
I've been out in a deer stand since 6 a.m.
I was wondering why the fuck Shangri-La Frontier had not come out at the time that Crunchyroll said it was going to come out. And I'm over here asking my Echo Dot, hey, what time is it? And it's lining up with like my TV's time or like the time on my computer. And then I go and I look at my microwave and it's an hour and ahead. And I'm like, why is it an hour ahead? And I go, wait a minute. Is today daylight savings time ending? And then I go and ask, and she's like, yep, November 5th. And I'm like, motherfucker. So, change all your clocks if you haven't already. It's definitely the end of daylight savings time, and we're back on normal time. Honestly, I prefer standard time anyway. We use daylight savings time for way too much of the year anyway. It's not like it's split half and half. It's like
No, it's not.
3/4, and we get a quarter of just normal time. End daylight savings time. Nobody has to have it. Nobody needs to use it. It's an archaic system. We're done with it. There are so many archaic things that are around that we keep using just because tradition. Fuck. All right. Anyhow, rant over. Let's jump into the news. Guys, Solo Leveling got its world premiere trailer. And it showed off quite a bit more, but they're still showing beta version main character. That's all I'm going to say. They're showing the early version. He becomes Chad version actually pretty quick in the actual story. Like, it does not take very long until he is his new physical form. Because you're seeing two characters on, like, the thumbnail. That's not two different characters. That's the same dude.
Actually, if you look closely, it's 3 characters, and I'm pretty sure it's the same dude up there at the top of the building as well.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, there.
But it's like super spoilery to say that that's him because, yeah, that's what we get into.
He's got a cape and a long penis.
That is not what that is.
That's what it looks like.
That is not. First off, it's not a cape.
Let's just leave it at that, Richie. Until he learns, let's leave it at that.
Secondly, that'd be a really misshapen penis.
Hey, it didn't say how he was leveling up.
Yeah, it
he
did.
was leveling.
Yeah, no. All right, I'm not gonna let you disgrace like one of the top manga of all time, bro.
Yes.
So after checking it out, it felt less like a trailer for Solo Leveling and more of like, hey, check out our song that we're using for the opening. And I'm like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
get to it. Show me the goddamn trailer. Here's the thing. I know there are some people that are into like wanting to know who's doing the music for the opening and the ending. I'm not one of them. If you tell me there's a trailer, god damn it, I better see a trailer and not a promo for the artists that are gonna be singing. Like, do that shit separately like everybody else. Solo Leveling, you're not special. Like, I hate to be that guy, but you're just not. So, I was kind of bummed because I was expecting more trailer in my trailer. But that's my thoughts. That's my opinions. You guys watched it. What were your thoughts?
The song was nice.
Song was nice, yeah, I'll give it that.
I think it was
I
in
just-
English too, like the whole thing.
I'll have to listen to it again. I wasn't paying too closely to whether it was Japanese or English. I just heard the beat as I was paying more attention to the stills. I'm honestly hoping the first episode follows the newer tradition of 45 minutes to an hour long. So that would be a great introduction to the series.
I have heard that the first episode, I believe, is going to be pretty long. I forget which episodes of what shows are going to be really, really long. Because I know that there was one that they were talking about where they were like, hey, this one's going to be like 2 episodes for the first like premiere. I don't know if that was Solo Leveling. Oh, no. They're showing the first 2 episodes early in theaters, in select theaters. So, and wouldn't you know it, in the U.S., all we get is Los Angeles.
Of course.
Of course.
I'm like, motherfucker, you do realize that there are, in fact, more cities in this country than that. In fact, our country is ginormous. We are essentially a third of a continent. I mean, unless you're saying that Central America doesn't count as part of North America, which some people would argue, in which case we're half a freaking continent. Maybe a little more than that, because Alaska'd be huge.
I mean, if they brought it up here to Minneapolis, I'd be willing to drive the 2.5 hours just to watch the first 2 episodes.
I'm not flying
and pay
5
for it.
hours to watch an anime early on a theater. Bro, if I want the experience, I have a whole wall I can play it on, and I've got a decent sound system now for it.
Not all of us are that lucky, Richie.
I mean, it wasn't luck.
Well, projectors aren't that expensive,
Yeah.
and neither was the soundbar he got.
Yeah, actually, they were about the same price.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but my roof is slanted. I don't have a good wall.
I don't keep it in my... I don't have the projector in my room. It's in my
This is
living
the
room.
only area I can set up my stuff. Everywhere else in the house is everybody else's.
Well, I would say, hey, movie night with the projector. But I've got it set up to where I'm using the projector hooked up to my PS4, and I watch. If I want to watch stuff, I watch it on my PS4. Though to be fair, I don't get High Dive on my PS4 because
They don't have the console app yet.
yeah, they don't have a console app at all, and I don't feel like going and getting like a 50-foot HDMI cable so I can hook it up to from my computer all the way to there. It's just asinine. That's really really asinine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But, I'm for it. Makes me think of anything that has to do with FF where they only do orchestras in one city. No, not true. Everything's orchestrated in FF nowadays. Everything is orchestrated.
You mean Final Fantasy?
Yeah, he said FF.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. But what he's saying is like they only have the orchestra perform in like one place. However,
Oh.
yeah. However, what's it called? Nier Automata. That orchestra has been touring. They actually either are coming or already came to Atlanta a while ago.
Square, don't you want more money? Tour. Anyway,
Especially if they did a tour with like
I mean,
Final
shit.
Fantasy 14 music. Oh.
guys, I want to go ahead and put this out there for everybody. Nintendo let Zelda tour, do like a big medley of Zelda songs from like the lifetime of Zelda songs. So, yeah, there's no excuse for Final Fantasy. It's basically going to be like, hey, our orchestra's going to play like a greatest hits compilation from the 16 mains, and maybe you'll hear some music from the side stuff. Yeah, just... Yep. All right, next topic. The opening credits have been officially revealed for the Netflix Scott Pilgrim Takes Off series that we covered before. That is literally an animated version of Scott Pilgrim that is more in line with the manga, but it is voiced by the entire cast from the live action movie of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So it's when you actually watch the opening and you see everybody's name on there showing up, it's like, man, this was such a star-studded cast.
It was.
Yeah. I don't get why it didn't do well, because I went to go see it in theaters when it came out, and I hella enjoyed it. I'm glad that it became like such a cult classic. But yeah, I don't really remember. Pardon me. I don't really remember the song, so I guess it didn't stand out all that much to me. But I just remember like watching the opening. Like I really enjoyed the visuals for the opening, but I guess I'm more of a visual kind of person. Well, no, I'm really into music, but anyhow, maybe if I give it a couple more listens, it'll stick with me. But I've only listened once. I only watched it once, so and I was more kind of paying attention to all the visual stuff. What was your experience, both the chat comments for later, and of course you guys? What was your experience with this? What were your thoughts?
It was a really fun opening. Really good to see. I kind of just watched it as you were talking, or rewatched it actually. But the music is actually the song was really nice. Unfortunately, it's gonna sound mean, but it kind of just sounds like a generic anime opening.
Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of
part
what
of
they
why
were
it's
going
kind of
for.
forgettable. Yeah. But it's really good. Animation looks amazing.
The animation is exactly what the characters in the manga look like.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have all 6 volumes just right over there, so...
Is it a manga or comic book?
It's a manga.
Okay.
It's done in manga format. I mean, you could argue that every comic book is a manga and every manga is a comic book, because literally manga means comic book.
True.
So, it is what it is.
Anyway.
But I mean, if we're going off of just the style of it, it's a manga. And I had this argument with people before. They're like, oh, it can't be manga because it was made outside Japan. I was like, is it the same style? Is it the same vibe as a manga? Yeah, then it's a manga. Like, people want to argue this. Avatar: The Last Airbender and Korra, I firmly believe, are anime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 100% they are anime. I'm sorry, Western animation. You don't get the dub on this one. That doesn't count. The story, the animation, everything just screams Eastern, not Western. Hell, the philosophy alone is like Eastern as hell. But, having been said, Fenris, your thoughts?
It gave me a lot of late 90s, early 2000s anime vibes watching that opening.
To be
And
fair,
I am all for that.
to be fair, the manga feels exactly that way too. Yeah.
Uh, it hits that nostalgic nostalgic feel that I've been wanting in an anime for a while without actually going back to watch all the animes I've watched to death already. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm glad I actually have a Netflix subscription now.
Kai. Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm pretty sure they are adding all the like, I like to call them the Batman effects because when they would go splat, pow, kerplow, those things. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have those in there, just because of the visual style of things and how silly it was and how much it actually enhances the silliness of it. I want the effing soundtrack to be similar though, because I love the whole we're hearing like Zelda themes at different parts in the actual like live action. I was like, I love that, dude. Yeah. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, wait. They cleared that? I'm like,
Yep, the Legend
bro.
of Zelda theme, and it's just while he's taking a piss.
No, it's not. It's not the theme. It's the menu.
The fairy fountain.
Yeah,
No, it's
fairy
the
fountain
fairy
and menu.
fountain.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was just chef's kiss. I want more gaming soundtracks in this animation. Hope they can get it, because the soundtrack for that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that all the cast is still around to come back and do this. I can't wait to hear Sex Bob-omb's music again. That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
We're here to see Scott kick this man's ass.
We're here to watch Scott Pilgrim kick your teeth in. 2, 3, 4. All right. Another reason why this is now, as we get further toward the end, especially once we get to the Katayanagi twins, everything changes. Everything is going to be different. If you're expecting this to be just like the movie, nah.
No.
This animation is based on the manga. So things are going to be different. The author had not finished writing the final book by the time the movie began. So there was a lot of stuff, or maybe it was the last 2 volumes. I don't remember. But like the whole thing with the Katayanagi twins, that had not been fully finished. They're very different in the comics than they were in the actual show. And I don't think the actors that were playing them even said anything. Like, at all.
Oh, yeah, no, the Katayanagis, they said nothing.
They said absolutely nothing in the movie. They have lots to say in the manga. Yeah, they're pretentious as fuck.
Oh.
And
I mean,
they're not musicians. They literally build robots.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, the whole thing is completely different. So, and how it ends is absolutely different too. Not to say that the movie had a bad ending. I actually liked it, and especially that we did the countdown on the continue. That was great. But yeah. It definitely, I will say the movie definitely feels a bit more gamey than the actual like manga did. So I'm curious how they were going to try and blend these two together, but I'm for it. I'm really here for it. All right. Guys, One Piece is turning 25. Also, the newest episode that just came out. I love seeing how good they adapt the manga so well in certain instances. It was just nice. That's all I'm gonna say about it. If you're caught up with the anime and you watch the newest episode, you'll know what I'm saying. Other than that, I'm not gonna say a damn word. But yeah, One Piece is turning 25, and Shueisha, Toei, Bandai Namco are all teaming up to celebrate. Let me go ahead and read this. So actors McKinney, who played Zoro in the live action, Akio Otsuka, who I don't think I'm familiar. Okay, Blackbeard played Blackbeard, and more are seen flying their fandom flags in this compilation of 5 commercials celebrating the anime's 25th anniversary. Shueisha, Bandai Spirits, and Bandai Namco Entertainment, along with Toei and Toei Animation, teamed up to celebrate 25 years of the One Piece anime in a new video released on Friday. Actors Mikenyu, Akio Otsuka, who played, of course, Blackbeard in the One Piece anime and will continue to, because there's a lot more Blackbeard coming. Wataru Ichinose, Subaru Kimura, and Shirabe Kawaguchi. Kaori Nozuka and Yuno Nakao are seen flying their fandom flags in this compilation of 5 commercials for each of the companies. We get a glimpse of Mikenyu's collection of One Piece manga volumes in Shueisha's commercial, while Otsuka gives his signature Blackbeard laugh as a retailer who just watched a customer win a Blackbeard figure as part of the Ichiban Kuji lottery. Bandai Namco Entertainment's commercial shows us voice actor Subaru Kimura and actor Shirabe Kawaguchi playing the One Piece Bounty Rush game. Actress Kaori Nazuka and actresses, and Yuno Nakao are seen singing along with Uta at the screening of the One Piece film Red, while Sota Fukushi is depicted enjoying an episode of the anime at home. I'm not going to talk about any more One Piece film Red stuff. We've already talked about that last week, that it came back into theaters and made money. They re-released it in theaters. I'm like, what? Really? Okay, film Red. Isn't that already on, like, DVD and Blu-ray at this point? Come on. Come on, Japan. Anyhow. Oh, yeah, and something monumental happened. Guys, they finally learned what the word final means. Attack on Titan is over.
Oh, finally.
The anime has finished. And from what I heard, it ended the same way as the manga, so disappointed!
Nice.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't, like, as good. The problem is, everybody hypes up Attack on Titan way too fucking much.
Yeah.
Like, it is super overhyped. But, yeah, that's the end of it. 10 years of Attack on Titan anime is officially in the books. But, back to One Piece. I don't know who the other, like, 5 people are, but I know Blackbeard and I know Zoro. So, I feel like celebrating 25 years probably should have had more than just some random actors and actresses. No offense. I mean, I'm sure for the Japanese audience that makes a lot of sense. But for the Western audiences, who the fuck are these people? You know?
Yeah.
I'd have preferred if they had more of the cast from the One Piece anime. Because it would have felt a little bit more special. You know? Oh, well. It is what it is. What are your thoughts?
Watching all 5 of those clips merged into one video, very heartwarming.
Is it?
Yes.
It was really nice, yeah.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's
You
really well
should.
done. I
will
Yeah.
endeavor to do my best.
It's only like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's not gonna take long. But it was really fun to just watch it. I don't know what game it was they were playing on their phones, but it looks fun.
It was I think Richie touched on it when he was reading through.
Yeah. But
I mean, literally, Oda's about to get started on writing, on putting the volume together for his 107th volume of One Piece. So, yeah, think about it, dude. I'd have to have a shelf just for One Piece at this point.
mhm.
Yes, you
Yeah.
would.
Like, if I collected the actual physical volumes, I would have to have a freaking shelf just for One Piece. It's that insane.
I mean, even in this clip, that one guy has an entire shelf of nothing but One Piece manga.
Mhm.
You're muted.
That one guy? You mean live action Zoro?
Is that who that
live action-
was?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Zoro.
I couldn't
That's
tell.
Mikenyu. That's the
I couldn't tell without the green hair.
that's Zoro for the live action. You've watched the live
Nice.
action, right? Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I was
had a
pretty sure.
conversation about it. Like,
Yeah, I was pretty sure.
3-4 weeks
I was
ago.
like, dude, we covered this, so we all had to have watched it. But yeah, for the housewarming, I had the first episode of the live action playing on my wall. Though now it's much bigger and the sound is better, so next time we do that, it'll be a much better thing.
Also, who is Curly Bow?
Huh?
Who is Curly Bow?
Oh.
Okay, because that's a name that he drops.
oh yeah, at the end of that, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or Curly Blow.
Probably somebody later in the anime or the manga, Moon.
Probably.
Someone far beyond where we're at.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who Curly Blow is.
Okay.
Oh God,
Oh,
it
that's-
really is. That's great. The wearing
Yep.
the Blackbeard figure and he's doing
Yep.
the zay ha 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 ha.
Yep.
That's great. That's great. Yep.
Beautiful moment.
That was cute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did just upload the Attack on Titan special today.
It's Attack on Titan. Who cares?
So there's a card game for it. Oh, that's why
Mhm.
Bandai Namco was involved, because of the card game.
Yep.
And probably the
Well,
video
probably
game.
also the little phone game too.
Oh, there's a phone game. Okay.
Yeah, the I think it's
Yeah.
like One Piece Rush or something,
Mm.
or Gold Rush, one of the whatever.
I love all the red noses they put on for Buggy. That's cute.
Mhm.
Yeah, overall, very good trailers. I really
Oh,
enjoyed
yes.
them.
Love a little collection of clips.
Okay, it would have been even better if because they had this one kid that looks almost like Iñaki, and I was like, bro, if Iñaki had been on there, live action Luffy. But I don't know if they could pull that off necessarily. Well, the actor strike is just for. Well. No, because it counts for McKinney. McKinney filmed it. Of course, he lives in Japan. Iñaki lives in Mexico. They could have put him on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd have been no problem whatsoever. I don't know, man. I'm just like, man, I wish for more. But, that's just how it is. Okay, so we do have one piece of gaming news. Funny. Good transition, I guess.
Yep.
Guys, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Good old Capcom is at it again.
Well, just gaming companies in general are at it again.
Well, I mean, no, not necessarily. There's some, Bethesda, who actually appreciate their modding community.
Yeah, because their modding community finishes their games for them.
Yeah, fixes or
Yeah.
finishes their games, yeah. And then they hire said modders. So that's another thing.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And typically the modders that they hire are the ones that do the actual fixes. They don't hire the people that are just making big asses and big titties and BDSM and Fallout. Or more specifically Skyrim. Bro, the Skyrim mods can go for days.
Oh, yeah.
But quality of life mods for your game, Bethesda takes notice of that shit. Anyhow, we're not here to talk about Bethesda. We're here to talk about Capcom. Capcom expresses concern over mods that are offensive to public order and morals. Here's my thing, buddy. Here's my thing, guy. You're not making live service games. So once we buy it, we own it. Shut the fuck up. We're not going into public and parading this shit around. You don't get to talk about offensive and public order from the company that gave us Lady Dimitrescu.
They knew exactly what they were
You
doing.
knew exactly what you were doing with Tall Drink of Water, Dami Mommy. You knew exactly what you were doing when you let her bend over and show us that ass. I'm just saying
And
It's the beginning. It's the first major area, and she's the first like big bad that you face in that game.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Capcom also hire a YouTuber to do a breakdown of how much pressure she would actually be put on you if she stepped on you with the stiletto?
I'm just saying. Y'all have no, get off your soapbox, your high horse, whatever. Y'all have no room to talk. Also, do we really want to bring up Capcom's history with like very not so moderately dressed females in their games? Skimpy clothing in your video games when it comes to your female characters? Capcom, you have no right to talk about offensive to public order and morals.
Didn't they do both Bayonetta and Lollipop Chainsaw?
Capcom?
I
No.
think so. No.
No. They do Street Fighter though, which has several costumes that are questionable they can unlock.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys don't.
I'm
Like,
thinking of Studio Platinum.
mm-hmm.
Yes, that's
They should just be glad they're not the guys that do Dead or Alive.
Oh.
they would definitely have no leg to stand on at that
Because
None.
because Extreme Beach Volleyball was
point.
also
The first
done by
game
the
to
same
bring in
company.
jiggle physics.
Yeah, yeah, for each individual titty.
Mm-hmm.
They literally wrote code. They literally wrote a dumb AI that would handle jiggle physics for each independent titty. That's where AI should be invested. I'm just saying. Titty AI.
Yes.
Titty AI is the true AI. Get
Yes,
your AI out of my actors and voice actor stuff and get the AI working on the important things.
Correct me if
Boobies.
I'm wrong. Wasn't the Beach game like PlayStation 2?
Yeah. PlayStation
So-
2 and Xbox 360.
PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 then, but still.
No, PlayStation 2. No, PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Original Xbox, because it came out on OG Xbox.
So keep in mind that's 3 console generations ago.
Oh yeah, that was back in in the early
2000s.
aughts. The early aughts, yeah.
So why can't we have that same level down?
I'm just saying. All right, Capcom has published express concern about the use of mods in its PC games, saying they could potentially lead to reputational damage, among other things. Guys, you make Street Fighter. Shut the fuck up. Spotted by Eurogamer, Capcom's R&D team uploaded a video presentation as part of an open conference the Resident Evil maker hosted late last month. The presentation titled Anti-Cheat and Anti-Piracy Measures in PC Games. Now I get piracy and cheating. Those two, absolutely understand. Any other mods, y'all need to shut the fuck up. Recommendations for in-house production emphasizes how to curb cheating and piracy in games the company releases on PC. At one point during the presentation, it focused on PC mods, which the presenter insists are cheating. Mods are popular with users because they allow them to add or change various features to an existing game, Capcom programmer Taro Yahagi explains in the presentation. However, for the purposes of anti-cheat and anti-piracy, all mods are defined as cheats. Making yourself immune to damage in Resident Evil 3 and putting Jill Valentine in the skimpiest outfit possible are not the same fucking mods.
So I can see where they're coming from for the, live service games like Umbrella Corps or Reverse, which still isn't out of beta.
However, quality of life mods that fix your broken ass game or make your game more enjoyable. I'm picking on Resident Evil 3 on purpose because the Resident Evil 3 remake was missing a few things. And yeah, I mean, somebody could literally have just remade the clock tower level.
No, that's the fun thing. Data miners delved into Resident Evil 3 remake and they had clock tower 90% done.
Yeah.
Like the inside, and in order to push it out in a timely fashion to keep a tradition of the original Resident Evil 2 and 3 release dates, they decided to cut quite a bit of stuff.
Oh
They
yeah.
were initially going to have the choice systems as well, and Jill going into the RPD.
Hmm.
Oh.
It was supposed to be a more true to the original remaster instead of a remake.
Wow.
But yeah,
Well, RE2 remake was a remake. It wasn't a remaster.
no, it wasn't a remaster, and I fully enjoy the remake itself.
Yeah.
But
See, 2 and 4 worked really, really well for the remakes, while 3, because they cut out so much content, pissed everybody the fuck off.
I mean, in the 3 remake, they had several nods to 2 because they took place at around the same time.
Yeah, a good portion of 3, I'd say 2/3 of 3 takes place before RE2, and then
Everything up
literally
until the
the
clock
last,
tower
yeah,
takes place before 2, and then afterwards takes place.
I'd say
after.
2/3. Yeah, like I said, 2/3. I would say, because then you've just literally got the hospital. But in the RE3 remake, it's literally, the first go round of the hospital, and then Jill wakes up after it's been like a certain amount of time. So the hospital and then the underground lab are the only two things left in remake that take place after 2. So literally,
Once again, why did they have to bring the nest in to 3? 3 never touched on the underground facilities. And that's because Jill was asleep recovering for 2 days. Leon and Claire had already escaped Raccoon City the day before she woke up.
well,
And the entire
that
underground
wasn't
facility was gone.
that wasn't Nest. That was a different facility. Umbrella had multiple facilities that weren't connected to each other.
In the remake, yes.
Yes, in the remake they do, but like apparently that's not Nest. So anyway,
We can go on and on about Resident Evil, but
I'm just saying that not all mods are created equal. That was my point. My point. So, I mean, the modding community's not happy.
Obviously
most
not.
of the Capcom PC players aren't exactly happy. I know the Resident Evil community is like, hey, why don't you shut the fuck up? These two are not the same. I've been looking at the Resident Evil community's comments on this, and ooh boy, they're like, fuck you. If I want to run around with a naked Ada, then I will run around with a naked Ada because I paid $80 for your game. It's mine now. I do what I want with it.
Or if I won't be chased around by a buff Paimon in 2, it was screaming my head off because it's terrifying.
No,
I would do that.
Buff Paimon's not terrifying if you have the appropriate music, as Moon found out.
Yep.
Yeah. The only problem is that because you were walking around with Infinite Rocket Launcher, you didn't really get a chance to hear Katamari Damacy.
No.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You can get the mods, and I will show you how to get the mods for some things. Like, you're not allowed to change like characters and the way that they look for your first playthroughs. Once you do side A and side B of those, then you can change outfits and stuff. Obviously, you can't stream the 18+ mods. But like, yeah, if you want to change Mr. X into certain things, like I'm gonna play it again during Christmas and have him wearing the ugly sweater, and then I've got like a bunch of Christmas theme packs for Mr. X.
Please tell me you don't have a mod for the Mariah Carey song.
No, I don't, and I
Thank
will
God.
never do that. I will never do
Thank
that.
God.
Also, I have I've got a Christmas version of Claire, so there's that. Yeah, so these are just wholesome, enjoyable mods. They're not cheating. They're not promoting piracy. They're not doing something that like is offensive to people's morals on stream, because stream has an ethics code if you're going to stream on any streaming platform. I mean, except for Kick, obviously, because they're just weird. And that's why people like Johnny Somali are in jail, where they deserve to be. Because he definitely doesn't want to get deported to the U.S. Anyway, that having been said, those are my thoughts on it. I think you've already heard Fenris's thoughts on it. You got any thoughts you want to share on this topic, Moon?
Nothing more that's not already been said. It's just, it's stupid because most of them are just kind of like cosmetic changes that don't really do
And they
anything.
know that they're cosmetic changes. That's the thing. Pretending like you're trying to sit there and pretend like you're not stupid when you are.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, all right, moving on to the next one. So the Attack on Titan creator shares emotional apology for controversial ending. No, that's not what happened. This is whoa, this is really old. Sorry, no, that's not the article we were supposed to have. Let me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's old.
a year old.
Yeah, that's really old. Hang on a second, guys. That was not. So here's what actually happened. The AOT mangaka apologized to the animators over at Studio Mappa for the crazy amount, because he was partially responsible for why they split up the final parts into multiple parts. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. I was like, I put y'all through hell. My bad. And that's essentially what happened. Okay. Attack on Titan. Okay, so I couldn't find it on like a decent one, so I'm just gonna change this to. All right, let me change the link. Edit. AOT mangaka. Okay, let me go to tiny URL. Okay. If it loads, waiting on it to load, guys. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Shorten the URL. Hey, come on. Control V. I accidentally pushed Shift V. I don't need a capitalized V. Okay.
For Vendetta.
For Vendetta. All right, so that link has been updated. Now to update the link in Discord, so you guys. Okay, edit message, Control A, Control V, bam. Okay, there we go. So now you guys can look at it and be on the correct document. I apologize for that. Attack on Titan creator Isayama apologizes to MAPPA for the final chapter. With Attack on Titan's final installment over, it says inching closer, but it's over now. Mangaka Hajime Isayama came forward to express his opinions about the anime. He apologized to MAPPA for making things at the end very difficult to animate. In addition, he revealed that he was involved with the animation for of the final chapter. I don't know necessarily what all he did. I just know that apparently he drew some stuff as far as like storyboards and things for the final chapter. So yeah. On Wednesday, November 1st, 3 days prior to the release of the final episode, the series creator shared a special message for the anime studio and fans. In the message, he thanked fans for sticking through the series for 10 years since the anime began. Following that, he spoke about the series ending. He expressed how he himself had a tough time drawing the series climax during the manga serialization. Thus, he was certain that the anime staff at MAPPA must also be having a strenuous time. So what a stand-up guy, dude. He's like, this shit was really difficult. I'm sorry to the animators. I'm like, bro, let me tell you about Studio Mappa animators. They're already they've already got a boot to their head because it's like they literally made them sign NDAs so they couldn't talk about the horrible conditions working for MAPPA as an animator. Um, I'm sure they appreciate an apology coming from you, but like what they really want is an apology from their fucking supervisors and their higher ups.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at, because Mappa is notorious for this shit. I mean, they do have some of the best animation in the game, but they're notorious for that. However, it's apparently a different story with Ufotable, because they just start animation on their projects super effing early, because it requires quality animation. Like, they've already more than well started on the next season of Demon Slayer, so they've already got it worked on, and they've begun the process, and that shit's probably not coming out until at the very earliest, like fall of next year. I would not count on seeing that coming out in like spring or summer. That's just not happening. I'd say at the earliest fall of next year, because those episodes and those movies, man, they take a while to animate, and they're meticulous on their stuff. So if you gotta wait for amazing quality, then just wait. What did you guys think about Attack on Titan's mangaka apologizing for like the ending of everything and how kind of difficult to draw it was? I don't know if it was his choice to break it into chunks and make it so convoluted, but that's kind of, it's not even, people aren't even mad anymore. It's just a meme at this point. It's like, they don't know what final means.
His heart's in the right place. That's really all I have.
I mean, like, it's more than we get from a lot of other companies, especially when they have an ending that didn't go well.
Yeah.
Like, whether it was his choice or not, whether it was just like he was like up here on writing and then suddenly it just kind of crashed a bit. At least he's like saying, "Hey, this kind of sucked. I didn't want it to."
Well, my only thoughts on the matter is, if One Piece has a sequel and it's not called Two Piece and a Biscuit, I'm gonna be really upset.
Two Piece and a Biscuit, love that.
Two Piece and a Biscuit, man. You gotta have food in the title because Luffy. All right,
or if they have to also have another Toriko crossover.
All right, so I know there's a lot of people that like to pretend this doesn't exist, but for a second, we're gonna go back to acknowledging that it existed. There was a podcast called holy cow, I need to click on this so I can learn the name. Okay. Blurred's Eye View. And that podcast, they had on the writer of Dragon Ball Evolution. And he was talking about the writing process for that movie. And he actually delved into and did his research on Dragon Ball. And he actually wrote a script that was very Dragon Ball. And he actually wrote 10 different scripts. And every time he got notes from the studio, it was, hey, can you make it more Western? Hey, can you basically America it up? And by the time he got done with those 10 different scripts, he walked away from the project because he was done with what he was supposed to write. And then he didn't think it was ever going to get made. And then we heard it was getting made. He was very excited because he was like, oh, hey, cool. And then just like the rest of us, he watched the film and was like, what the fuck? What did y'all do? So apparently they cobbled pieces of different scripts that he had turned in together and made that god-awful monstrosity. So I'm going to go ahead and say this out loud for everybody. Guys, stop shitting on the writer for Dragon Ball Evolution. This was absolutely a studio decision. This is why I don't think studio execs should talk about writing. This is why producers and the Producers Guild had to acquiesce to the Writers Guild. Because a lot of the time, here's the thing, a lot of writers take a lot of crap for decisions that have nothing to do with them. Like the fact that everybody's like, oh, Hollywood's so woke now, all these woke ass writers. It ain't the writers. A lot of the time, it's not the writers. It's the producers or the studios themselves. And you want to know why? Because at the time that it's being written, those are the trends going on right now. Or they see that if we do things this way, this group of people will attend and we'll make money from them. Because it's not about woke, it's about not going broke. That's literally it. They don't give a shit. Most of these people, their ideology is completely opposite of like the woke culture or whatever. They're just in it for the money. That's what they're doing. They're like, hey, we got to make our bag because we put money into this project and we want a profit. And that's how it is, man. They are literally following market trends. Sometimes that works. Most of the time, not so much. But it's a studio's decision, and that was essentially what I was putting out there. You can watch the full podcast. We have a link to that. Obviously, we didn't watch the full podcast.
No.
Moon clicked on it, saw that it was an hour long. He was like, ain't nobody got time for this.
Yeah, I ain't doing that.
Yeah. All right, so now that I have given you the more or less cliff notes for this version, what do you guys think?
I mean,
It doesn't surprise me it was a studio decision.
Yeah, a lot of things that end up happening do tend to be a studio decision. So it's like, we can't. Sometimes it's a director problem because maybe the director didn't do things right. Sometimes it's an actor problem because maybe the actor just couldn't get what they needed to feel, or the director didn't know how to get it out of the actor. But a lot of times it makes sense that it's just going to be a studio problem because the studio has a way that they want things to be, and it has to be their way. They are the Red Queen.
Alrighty.
Can't really say anything else about that because
No, he covered it.
yeah, that's a really good synopsis. Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, on to our next story. Shonen Jump finally unites 3 of its top creators. Now, when I put this in the description, I said a new top 3 instead of the top 3 because it's not Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. So to dive in, Shonen Jump has been one of the premier spots for manga for quite some time. Yeah. Anyway, let's get to the actual story. Shueisha Publications has become a player in the anime world.
Basically, you're going down past that picture.
Yeah.
A legendary shonen meeting.
So Weekly Shonen Jump published its first issue, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So they have like these anime dinners sometimes. And in this legendary anime dinner, the artists that were in attendance were Kohei Horikoshi, My Hero Academia, Tite Kubo, or Taite Kubo, however you want to pronounce his name, of Bleach, and Gege Akutami, the mangaka for Jujutsu Kaisen. So the current big 3, if you're not counting One Piece, like One Piece will forever be there, but like the current like big anime that aren't like running since 1999, you know? So if the names don't ring a bell, the 3 mangakas are responsible for My Hero Academia, Bleach, and Jujutsu Kaisen, which I just summed up, to name a few. While there has never been an official crossover between these 3 properties outside of like Shonen Jump covers and a handful of Shonen video games, the 3 artists have plenty in common when it comes to talking about their works. All 3 manga series currently have major anime adaptations that have taken the world by storm. Bleach creator Tite Kubo revealed that he had dinner with My Hero Academia's Kohei Horikoshi and Jujutsu Kaisen's Gege Akutami via his social media account. Here's how Kubo described the legendary meeting of minds. Today, I dined with Horikoshi-kun and Akutami-kun. I love that he's referring to them as kun because they are younger than him. Like, much younger. Although our meeting was not a big deal, it was full of stories that I could not publish a single word about. That's literally it. And then somebody just made like a giant article about this, and it's mostly like, hey, this is the things they do, this is what's going on. But like, yeah, if you don't know this already, when it comes to each of these anime properties, they have bright futures ahead of them. I mean, Bleach, maybe? Like, he didn't continue on with the Hell arc, which we're still looking forward to, because that Bleach one-shot ended just... And everybody's adults now, too. That's the crazy part. Yeah. This is about Ichigo's kid. Ichigo and... Oh, no. I'm not going to tell you who he ends up with because spoilers, but I think it's pretty freaking obvious who he ends up with. If you didn't guess it, you're an idiot. But anyway. So, Bleach recently finished the second core of its 1,000-year blood war. My Hero Academia is preparing to unleash its 7th season, and Jujutsu Kaisen is neck deep in its 2nd season to follow the Shibuya incident arc. The story of the Soul Society doesn't currently have a new story running on Shonen Jump, but the students of UA are in the thick of their final arc, while Jujutsu Kaisen has thrown some serious hurdles at its characters. No shit. Guys, if you think the anime onlys were pissed off about Gojo getting sealed in the prison, that doesn't even compare to how just flabbergasted and a little annoyed, even though it made sense with the story, what is happening with Gojo in the manga right now. People are like, fuck. Also, guys, we're in the Shibuya arc. If you had favorite characters that weren't one of two of the mains, you're gonna cry. You're gonna cry, because I mean the most recent episode of the anime, Sukuna's out. Sukuna. So he is out, and he is not to be trifled with. But yeah, take some calming medication. The Shibuya arc is insane. That's basically it. It's just a meeting of the minds. They had dinner. They chatted about work stuff. That's what it feels like this was. And then somebody was like, this is important enough to make an article about. It's just one of those things that you read about it. You read it and you're like, huh, that's neat.
Could you imagine, though, if they went to, like, a restaurant for dinner and there was an anime fan just sitting on the other side of, like, a wall or something, and they're just talking about, oh, yeah, I plan on doing this with my story, and I plan on doing this with my story, and he's just...
I can never repeat these words.
Yeah.
Like if Oda was just at like some random restaurant and the walls are kind of thin and he just tells everybody how One Piece ends. Mm-hmm. The guy on the other side has to sit there and be like, if I leak any of this, I am a dead man.
Oh, God.
Anyway. So, yeah. That's how it is. It's just kind of neat. I figured it was a neat story to talk about. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we need to add neat stories.
Yeah.
I just think it's neat.
I just think it's neat. All right. Speaking of Bleach, we now leave you with Bleach to talk about more Bleach. Bleach Anime Studio breaks silence on the dub's recasting. Guys, if you remember, we talked about this before. Wendy Lee got recast for a different voice actor who voices Hiyori in Bleach, but she was taking over as as Yoriichi. And so then they realized, oh, Wendy Lee isn't actually busy and unable to record. So let's bring back the original voice actress for Yoriichi and have her record her stuff. Because, I don't know, there was a mix-up or something. And then people on the internet got all upset about one thing. Here's my thing, guys. It's voice acting. You don't actually have to be the exact same definition of skin tone as the person that you're acting as. Also, I want to go ahead and point out that everybody's like, oh, this should be this minority, blah, blah, blah. The woman is Japanese. She's literally Japanese with a tan. Y'all need to calm the F down. I'm just saying, and I'm not the only one that's saying this. Fornever's saying this. A lot of other people that do reactions are saying that. They're like, bro, why y'all up in arms about this? It's like the Baby Brigade came out and just cried about something because they could cry about it.
Sounds about right.
In the words of Iron Mouse, go cry, baby, cry. Baby cry. This is what this feels like. This is a whole lot of nothing. And it blew up into something because the studio for Bleach, Studiopolis, addressed the situation in a new statement, which was posted to Anime News Network, which is hilarious because we're reading it on comicbook.com. Anyway, we would like to address the unfortunate circumstances that led to the recasting, to the casting error around the character Yoriichi Shihon in Bleach, 1000-Year Blood War, episode 22. It was always Studiopolis' intention to keep as many of the established cast members as possible for the original Bleach anime. There is a misunderstanding that Yoriichi was part of the list of the original cast members who were unavailable to participate in Bleach 1000-Year Blood War. In error, our casting coordinator offered Anidas Kionis the role. By the time this error came to our attention, it was too late to correct before episode 22 was released. We would like to take this opportunity to apologize once again and express how much we appreciate their talents and enjoy working with Anaris and Wendy, who will both continue to add their voice work to Bleach 1000-Year Blood War, with Wendy as Yoriichi and Anaris as Hiyori. So, guys, this just feels like an oopsie by someone at Studiopolis, where miscommunication between the actor and the studio, or maybe their agent and the studio, just a miscommunication there. And then when they finally caught it, they were like, oh shit, we done fucked up. And to be fair, the two actresses have solved everything amicably. In fact, Anidas, because of all the crap about this, has just gone on a break from social media right now. And I don't blame her on that. So it's somebody decided to make a mountain out of a molehill is what this feels like.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, hey, we messed up. Our bad. The correct people will be voicing that. And then people got all up in their feels and decided to blow this up into a bigger deal than it should have been. And that's where I stand on that. Now, some people may not like that I have that stance. Too bad, boo-hoo. That's literally how I feel about this. This should not be like as big of a deal as it should be. And it's like, bruh, everybody, all these people, I feel like they're the ones that preach inclusion. And now they're like, no. If your character is this, then it should be played by this. And it's like, hey, we're actors, dude. We have range. We can sound anything that we can sound like anything we wanna. Like, you're not seeing us on camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessary.
We're not having to put on a ton of makeup to look like something we're not.
Dude, seriously, I have seen a lot of black voice actors play white characters. And you know what? I don't find it offensive. I don't give a shit. Can they act? Does their voice look like it matches that character? Then fucking A, get them in the studio. Put them in front of the microphone.
That's all you need.
I don't care. And we're talking about recasting a character because of an accident. So accident fixed. Move on. It's not like the girl got fired from Bleach entirely. She does have a character that she voices. Also, Yoriichi doesn't even show up and have dialogue until the 22nd episode. She's not like a huge part of this. Y'all can calm down. That's all I'm saying. Thoughts, feelings, post them in comments, chat. I want to know what you guys think about this. Obviously, you've heard what I think. But yeah, that's where I'm at with this. What do you guys think?
I had the exact same feelings as a fellow voice actor.
There you
Yeah, because like you don't see us, you just hear us.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think the best compliment I've ever gotten from somebody is, "You have a face for radio."
Mm. I have
It's
literally.
definitely not a compliment.
I have
I took
literally.
it as a compliment.
I have literally died as a fucking talking rabbit. That raps.
Mm-hmm. I
Nobody-
have died as
nobody-
an Irishman.
here-
He couldn't even tell I was Irish.
Here's the thing. Nobody gave me shit because I wasn't a furry. I'm not a furry, guys, and yet I've played an anthropomorphic character. I have played just talking animals. Not a fucking furry. I'm not hating on furries, but I'm just saying I'm not one. And I feel like it's the same people that were crying about you need to be X in order to play X that would cry that I have played anthropomorphized animal-esque characters, or that I have played as a talking fucking rabbit and I'm not a furry. It was like, well, he can't truly be part of that role. He can't understand that role. I'm like, literally, I have to die and rap like Eminem in a way, which is way harder than it sounds. But basically, guys, whole lot of nothing. And as a voice actor, I will sit here and say that the trying to say you can only play X if you are X, go F yourself, man. That's where I stand on that. You're literally taking potential work away from me by saying, oh, I can't play that role because I don't match their skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
You guys realize how fucking racist that sounds, right? Because by that very definition, you're telling people of color they can't play white roles in voiceover. Let's not forget that the majority of anime that's out there is all fucking Japanese. They're all Japanese characters predominantly.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter who gets cast in the role, they're not the correct race for the role.
Correct nationality.
Yeah, okay, nationality. That's
All the
true.
above, really.
There's only one race. It's the human race. You all need to shut the fuck up. That's where I'm at on this. All right, rant over. Guys, it's really, really funny in the longevity of One Piece that Oda has not revealed a major character's, well, not necessarily a major character, but a person whose devil fruit ability has been seen in both the anime and the manga and did not have an official name for it. And it was really funny because Oda was like, wait, I haven't? Oh, okay. Let me go ahead. Now, small, tiny spoiler for potentially for the manga. It's not really a spoiler. We're just going to go ahead and put it up there just in case. Because Jewelry Bonnie is very much in the current arc. But I'm going to put this up there just because some people will get in their feels if I don't put this up there. So here's the spoiler tag. Other than that, there's not really a thing here. Jewelry Bonnie is in the current arc of the manga, which is right after the arc that is wrapping up right now in the anime. We're wrapping up Wano. We're about to move on to the next arc. By the way, the next arc is the final arc of One Piece. I want to stress this again. It is the final arc, which means everything that's been going on outside of Wano, all this crazy shit, that's about to come to a head and actually affect the Straw Hats in a big, big way. It's like the second coming of Marineford, if you guys remember the Marineford arc. How everything in the outside world suddenly came in and was majorly relevant. Like all that's happening again. So, One Piece has been around for decades now, and somehow its creator has kept all of its secrets straight. From plot twists to backstories, Oda Ichiro has a mind like a vault when it comes to storytelling. The creator's skill is especially impressive when you realize how many special powers One Piece features, and how we are finally learning more about the devil fruit we've seen from Jewelry Bonnie. In the past, Oda has shown us Bonnie's power at work, but we have never been told what her devil fruit is. The artist took a chance to fix his oversight in the latest issue of the SBS when asked by a fan about the pirate's power. Oda admitted he totally forgot to tell fans about her devil fruit, and it's called the Toshi Toshi no Mi. Now, the quote here is, I've been asked many times, and I noticed and thought to myself, I haven't revealed it yet? It's the Toshi Toshi no Mi, which allows the user to freely alter ages. For the sake of those who don't read the SBS, I need to mention this is in the main story too, Oda explained. Or I need to mention this in the main story too, Oda explained. So here's the thing. Jewelry Bonnie can change your age. She can make you really, really old or really, really young, like turn you into a baby or a toddler, you know? So for those curious about the Toshi Toshi no Mi, the Japanese name has two translations. It can either be read as age fruit or the year fruit. So obviously the first name fits better. After all, the devil fruit power can be used on everything from humans to items. And as for the years stolen by this devil fruit, well, they turn into the precious gems of which Jewelry Bonnie takes her name. That's the part I didn't know about. The life that is stolen from them is turned into the gems that she wears. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But yeah.
It's interesting.
There's a big reason why Jewelry Bonnie is very involved in the next one, and it has to do with a former warlord. Well, technically all of the warlords are former at this point, but you'll find that out if they haven't talked about it in the anime, which at this point in the anime I think they might have. But yeah, there's some shit going down, and the 4 emperors have changed hands. There, 3 of the emperors are completely different. 3 of the 4. Obviously, Luffy being one of them, because we're at the end. So if Luffy wasn't one of the 4 emperors at this point, Jesus, the only emperor that is still around that was an emperor, around that has been an emperor since the 4 emperors were discussed, Shanks. He's the only one left. The only one left. The other 3, Blackbeard, Luffy, and surprise, surprise for those of you, you'll love this, Buggy the Clown. He's one of the 4 emperors of the sea. It's just great. I love that Buggy just accidentals into like higher and higher levels of authority within the pirating world. It's beautiful. Because that motherfucker is no stronger than he was before. He just accidentaled into it. Buggy's story is like that is laugh-inducing in itself if you just follow the Buggy story.
He is a clown.
He is, yes, but he's not a funny haha clown. He's just a jerk. But yeah, his story is freaking fantastic. All right. So we got some quickie news. I want to get your thoughts and opinions on this. Guys, is it wrong to pick up Girls in a Dungeon, aka Danmachi, has officially been confirmed to get a 5th season. This was announced through some visual, a teaser visual and a promo video. So, Danmachi Season 5, you excited? Are you not? Have you watched this series? Let us know. Sound off down in the chat and down in the comments. Let us know about that. Moon, I already know the answer. Moon, I already know the answer from you, so I'm just going to pass. Yeah.
I just need to catch up on season 4. I'm
season
like 5
episodes
episodes finishing.
Season 4 is so good. Yeah. So not surprised that this got a 5th season. So just yeah, it's just welcome news. Not a surprise, but just welcome news. Alrighty, next up, and the short. You know what? I should just pull up all these short ones just so we can go through it. Another great series on High Dive, Call of the Night. Story about a boy who, it's a tale as old as time. Boy has insomnia. Boy decides to go walking around the city at night, bumps into a vampire girl that tries to take his blood by bringing him back to her place, and then draws his blood. Turns out his blood is super fucking delicious. And then he's like, "Hey, I want you to turn me into a vampire." And she's like, "Ha, funny." But like it's kind of really, really cute. Apparently you can only become a vampire if a vampire bites you and said vampire is in love with you. Like, that's the only way you can turn into a vampire. It's got like an element of romance, and like vibes alone, it is the lo-fi. It was basically a lo-fi vibe for the entire anime, but it was really, really good. And so Call of the Night has officially, on the manga side of things, entered its last arc. So with the 18th volume, it enters its final arc. Volume 18 ships November 17th. 18 compiled book of Kotoyama's Call of the Night manga is entering its final arc. Now, this doesn't mean that 18 is the end. That's just when everything begins for the final arc. Yeah. So there's that bit of quickie news.
Is Call of the Night in the same universe as Dagashi Kashi, since they're from the same creator?
I don't know. I don't necessarily know.
Interesting.
Next up, for those of you who watched or read, and I'm sorry, I did not actually finish this manga, and I should have. So sad. Dead Man Wonderland, the duo that brought us Dead Man Wonderland, is working on a new manga right now. So the duo recently ended their Retropolis Scratch manga, or which you can see, that is the image on the right for those of you that are looking at the article, on September 8th. The duo launched the manga in Kodansho's Bisatsu Shonen magazine in July of 2022. Blah, 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 blah. But they are currently preparing for a new manga series. They did not reveal any other details for the new manga. They're just like, hey, we're making a new manga. So that's cool. The guys that did Dead Man Wonderland making new manga together. And then finally, a bit of... depending on where you fall on this, I don't think a lot of us are going to be like really, really bummed, because this isn't like a character that's super, super like part of our lives. But Megumi Hayashibara steps down as the voice of Hello Kitty after 33 years. So I guess you could say it's kind of like the voice actress for Pikachu retiring, turning it over to somebody else. I'm not really big on Hello Kitty. Not a big part of my life. Maybe Iron Mouse will be a little sad. She likes Sanrio characters, which Hello Kitty is a part of. But yeah, she announced it on her blog, which is a weird place to do it. But people are still blogging? Like, what?
Yeah. People are also vlogging still.
And she is she did this on Wednesday, said that she is stepping down as the voice of Sanrio's mascot character, Hello Kitty. Hayashibara has voiced the character since 1990. November 1st is the day Sanrio celebrates as the character's birthday, and Sanrio is marking the character's 50th anniversary next year. Wow. She has voiced the character through numerous anime, films, original video OVAs, and television anime series centering on the character, including 16 separate anime works, as well as cameo appearances of the character in other projects. So,
like the Gundam Hello Kitty crossover they had.
She has starred in and performed theme songs for such anime as 3x3 Eyes, Ranma 1/2, Slayers, Saber Marionette, R, Sorcerer Hunters, Love Hina, and Shaman King. Yen Press has released her memoir, The Characters Taught Me Everything, in English. So, there you go. I'm gonna check her out real quick to see what some of these roles were. Let's see. Arceus in Super Smash Bros.
I am okay with this.
Yeah.
I'm looking up the anime and video games. Oh, Batgirl and Barbara Gordon in Batman the Animated Series Japanese dub. So there we go. Christina McKenzie in SD Gundam G and Kido Senshi Gundam Senki. Oh my god, she played Krista in the Japanese dub of The Last Rainforest. She was Diddy Kong in Donkey Kong Country. That's cute. Let's see. From Dusk Till Dawn 3, The Hangman's Daughter. Okay. Oh. Dude, this one should automatic. She's Faye Valentine. Yeah, she's Faye from Cowboy Bebop. There we go.
Right.
Of course, yeah.
She also did Finnegan in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Freya in Fire Emblem Heroes. She was Goomba and Kuribo in Super Mario Brothers Special CD drama. Oh, Haruka Urashima in Love Hina. So one of the mains, if not the main. Okay, so Slayers. She was Lena in Slayers, Lime and Saber Marionette. Oh my god, Little Sneezer in Tiny Toon Adventures, the Japanese dub. That's funny. Lucy McMillan in Macross Plus, the game edition. Let's see. Trying to go through this and see what. Okay, so she was Pi in 3x3 Eyes. Okay, literally she was female Ranma in Ranma 1/2. That's okay. Which is funny because I watched that dub because it had a lot of the Gundam Wing cast for the dub. That doesn't make it like bad or anything. Oh, bro, you want to take a guess as to who she was in Evangelion, because she was in Evangelion.
I don't know the characters from Eva, so
Right.
Yeah, she was Rei Ayanami in Evangelion. Yeah. Let's see, 3x3 Eyes. Okay. Final Fantasy. Shinato in Dissidia 12. So basically the Final Fantasy series and the Dissidia Final Fantasy series, and also World of Final Fantasy. Danganronpa version 3. Shuichi Saihara. Wait, what? She was Vanessa Lultz, the voiceover for Reese Witherspoon in Freeway. This was a live-action Japanese movie that they dubbed, or a live-action movie that they dubbed in Japanese. Yeah, dude. That is currently her voiceover roles. But yeah, I mean, she's been around a while. She was born in 1967. So, like, I understand the retiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. That having been said, though, guys, that's everything. That's the show. Managed to wrap it up in about an hour and a half.
not bad.
Yeah, an under 2 hour show. But those were all the quickie bits of news. Let us know what you thought down in the description below. Do you guys have anything you want to comment on the quickie news?
No.
Nah.
Okay.
Mostly with the quickie news, it's like there's barely any opinions. It's just like
this happened.
Let
Rapid
us
fire.
know. Let us know what you thought. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I dragged it out by checking her kind of like list of stuff that she did, because I was like, I'm curious.
Don't get me wrong. I love a good quickie, but yeah, it's a quickie.
Finding out that she was Faye Valentine and Rei Ayanami, I'm like, okay, yeah. No, I get that. I 100% I understand that.
Oh yeah.
Evangelion is forever going to go down as the fucking funniest thing in my world, because I was sitting with two girls watching Indiveva, and there's a moment collectively where every guy in the room gets what's happening, and then like one of the girls next to me had no clue, even after looking at the handful of baby batter, had no clue what was going on. I'm like, and literally you hear Shinji go, "I'm so fucked up," and the girl's like, "What's he so fucked up for?" I'm like, "He just fucking masturbated over a comatose girl."
Yep.
Like, yeah, he's messed up. That's really, like, there's a moment where everybody that's sitting here watching it understands implicitly what's happening. And that's before we get the money shot, as it were. Then we get the money shot. You don't actually see what's happening. You don't see the hand or arm moving. You just hear breathing. And you know, that kind of breathing only happens in certain instances. Just saying.
Yep.
Then they show the money shot. And it's like, bro, how do you not understand this?
It's like, you may have had some doubts before that, but then you saw it, and you're just like, yeah, dude,
yeah, no, he was doing
wrong.
he was doing the absolute effed up thing I thought he was doing. Oh my god, I had the spoiler warning up still. There were no spoilers to be had in the last bit of the show, but yeah. Oops. Oh well. Guys, thank you so much for coming by. We appreciate you hanging out with us here on Anime Church. Once again, I am Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology.
I am Moonlight Sparks, your Minister of Arceology. Upside down. Praise Arceus.
And I am Fenris Arun, your Saint of Snackos.
And once again, you are checking out Anime Church, the only church where cosplay is not only encouraged, but it is highly recommended. Have yourself a wonderful end of daylight savings time, for those of you that participate in that.
Enjoy your extra hour.
Enjoy your extra hour. Enjoy your moment of you don't know what fucking time it is anymore. And you may be late to work tomorrow, but you can blame it on daylight savings time.
Yep.
Yeah. That ending. You can blame it on moving to standard time. But guys, thank you so much. We will see you tomorrow for more Slime Light novels, where I think we're actually going to be able to get done with the book. That would be nice if we could.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Toes too. Cross whatever you can. But don't cross the streams.
I got my legs crossed.
Don't cross the streams. Don't watch our stream and somebody else's stream. Don't cross the streams.
Imagine everything you know and love coming to an abrupt end all at once.
And every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
That's what it was. Total protonic reversal.
Okay, so that's bad. Important safety tip, everybody. All right, guys, we will see you next week for more Anime Church. Until then, take care. Have yourself a wonderful day, and bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.